Let us see machine independent optimization. Machine independent optimization. The first technique that falls under this category is folding. What is folding is replacing an expression that can be computed at the compile time by its values. What is the meaning of this? Let's say if I say example is 2 plus 3 plus c plus b. If I say this is the expression, then what does this technique does is it will at the compile time it will evaluate this to 5 plus c plus b. So this is very simple technique, and the constant values whatever are there, they all are going to be computed at the compile time itself. So next technique, this is basic. We will go a little faster. These are all simple things. Redundancy elimination. Next is redundancy elimination. So whatever the code which is redundant, that code has to be eliminated. Let's say A is equal to B plus C. A is equal to B plus C. And I am saying B is equal to 2 plus 3 plus B plus C. So what is the meaning of this? I can say it is nothing but D is equal to this. There is a code which is having some things which are computed earlier also. So I can very easily say it is nothing but 2 plus 3 plus A, right? And even this 2 plus 3 can be computed with the help of folding techniques, nothing as 5 plus A by folding. This is, I am saying this is done by folding, right? So these are the two small techniques which are there. And the next technique which is interesting is strength reduction. So what is strength reduction? We will see. Okay, so next is strength reduction. Now what is the meaning of strength reduction? We want to reduce we want to reduce the strength of the operators. Let's say replacing a costly operator by the cheaper one, right? So what is the meaning of this is, let's say star and multiplication are taking more time compared to plus and minus. So in this way, so if such type of things are there, then normally what we should try to do is, let me say take one small example for this is, let's say if I am saying B is equal to A into 2, right? What could I do is, to reduce the strength and to do the optimization is, I can say B is equal to, I can shift it by using the shift operator which are reducing the strength. So instead of star, I am making use of a cheaper solution to optimize upon the performance, right? So this is like strength reduction. So there are other techniques also which are there. Next is algebraic simplification. Algebraic simplification. What is algebraic simplification? So let's say A is equal to A plus 0. What is the meaning of A is equal to A plus 0? It's nothing. So such type of statements, if it is there, we should try to eliminate all this type of statements. So this is nothing but simplification. Next is X is equal to X into 1. What is the meaning of this? A is equal to A into 1, X is equal to X into 1. It's same thing, right? So this statements could be very easily eliminated, right? So this is algebraic simplification. Next we will see what is machine dependent. There are few techniques which are available inside the machine dependent optimization techniques also. So we will see some of those techniques. Machine dependent. So first is register allocation. So these are the techniques which are basically available with the hardwares, like local allocation and global allocation is possible. So local allocation of registers and global allocation of registers is also possible, global allocation, right? So local allocation and global allocation. So there are registers available with the processors, and if we look into the RISC processors, we have discussed about it in the course of computer organization and programming. that there will be some local registers available with any of the CPU, and there will be some global register also available with this system. So all this are basically related to the machine dependent. So it will be available only for specific machines and not for all the machines, right? Next is the use of addressing modes. So use of addressing modes. So again, addressing modes would be different for different type of systems, right? We have seen some of the addressing modes, and we have also seen the example of all the addressing modes with the help of move instruction, right? Direct addressing mode, immediate addressing mode, indirect addressing mode. So all such type of things we have already seen, right? And considering this, there could be some machine dependent optimization techniques which are possible. So use of addressing modes is the one of the technique which is available. And the last one, maybe if I say, there is nothing but p-pole optimization. P-pole. Not maybe the last one, there are a few other techniques also available. There is let's say redundant load and store elimination. So inside this, I am saying removing the redundancy of load and store. Redundant load and store. So load and store, we'll take this with a separate example, so that it becomes much more clear, right? P-pole optimization with the help of to explain about the redundant load and store. I hope you are now getting it. Addressing modes are various addressing modes which are available, which I normally tells you about how the data would be accessed from the to bring it into the memory for processing, right? So okay, coming to the p-pole optimization, let's say x is equal to y plus z. X is equal to y plus z. Now, what will be the appropriate assembly code for this? So if I say what will be the appropriate assembly code, let's say move the content r0 y to r0, right? And what I'm supposed to do is add what? Z to y, right? So add r0 with z. So content of y is available in r0 and z is then added to r0. Now r0 is supposed to be moved at some safer place. Let's say move x comma r0. So these are the three statements which are nothing but these are the equivalent of this expression which is supposed to be there. Now, taking this as a base, let's say if I am giving you an example of A is equal to B plus C, and I am saying that B is equal to A plus E. If these two statements are supposed to be executed, then what could be the situation? Independently, if it is the case, independently this is okay, but when you are merging it, then there could be some optimization, right? That could be possible, because unnecessary why to again store and then again get back and load it again, right? So that could be there could be some possibility of optimization. So let us write the assembly code for this. So what will be the assembly code for this? Let's say move r0, what you can take any of the variable, let's say b, and then say add maybe c to r0, right? So then this content is already there. Move, I need to store somewhere. I'm writing it independently first of all, and then I can say that certain things could be merged even. So move what? Move the content of r0 to a. So right, I'm saying move r0 to a. So content is then stored into the variable a. Then again, what is required is a is supposed to be brought again back, and it has to be loaded. So what I will do is move into one of the register. I can use the same register again, because that is always possible. So that content is brought into the register, and then again I need to add it with the variable which is, let's say, e. So add r0 with e, and then finally what I'm supposed to do is I need to store this content to d. So let's say move d comma r0. So if you see this, independently this is the code for this one, and independently this is the code for this one. Okay, so independently there is no problem at all. But if you see carefully here, the content is stored at this place, and immediately loaded at this place. So load and store optimizations could be possible. Why to store it and immediately bring it back inside the memory? So this optimization could be possible. If you can remove this, there is no need to store it and then again load it. So you can keep it inside the system and then continue further, right? So this is how the optimization could be possible with the peephole optimization. Next is control of optimization, control flow optimization. So we'll see that control of flow of control optimization. Flow of control optimization. So what we are supposed to do is we need to avoid jumps, jumps on jumps. So first is avoid jumps on jumps. Avoid jumps on jumps. Okay, and second is eliminate dead code. So we can eliminate the dead code. Dead code elimination. This is sometimes known as dead code elimination, and we are saying here avoid jumps on jumps. What is the meaning of this? Let's say L1 is one of the label, and at this place I am saying jump to L2, jump to L2. Okay, jump to L2, and at this L2 I am having one more jump. I am saying jump to L3, jump to L3, and I am saying here L3. Okay, and jump to L4. So what should be the case? This is avoiding jumps on jumps. So this is jump to L2, L2 is saying jump to L3, L3 is saying jump to L4. So instead of writing this statement, which is no, what we should do, this is incorrect. So what we should do is we should say that no, instead of putting jumps on jumps, I should directly say it is jump on L4, jump on level 4. So directly it will make a jump to somewhere L4 here, and the codes, whatever the instructions which are there, so that will be executed. Okay, so next is coming here is eliminating the dead code. So eliminating the dead code here is like if I'm writing the code example here, let's say define let's say x0. Okay, so value of x is defined if x, and some writing some sample code here, and if there is some code which is present here, no, there is dead code, and it's of no use if this condition is never going to be satisfied. Why? Because I am saying x equal to 0, this condition is never going to be fulfilled. Considering this as the situation, this code, whatever is there, whatever the lines of code would be present, no, this code will be always a dead code. So we can very clearly say that no, this code could be removed. This code could be removed from the code, the actual line of codes, high level code, and indirectly we are doing the optimization, right? And the last category is use of machine idioms. So we'll look into that use of machine idioms and then we'll conclude. So what is use of machine idioms? Normally what happens is we are having a high level language, and where all the codes are written with some high level language constructs. But when we talk of machine, there are things which are going to be executed with the help of instructions, right? So let's say I is equal to I plus 1 is the situation, and what would be the appropriate code for this? I am talking of use of machine idioms. Use of machine idioms. Idioms means I am having a specific instruction for that, right? What is the appropriate machine code for this? So let's say move R0 with value of I. Okay, and I'm saying I need to increment it. So add, I'm saying R0 with 1. Okay, so value of 1, I'm to be more precise, specific, value of 1, and then again move this value to the required location. So this is the appropriate assembly code for this. And is it possible to replace this entire thing with a common instruction, or which is available with at the machine level? Yes, normally we have the instruction called as increment, INC, increment instruction. Increment what? Increment the value of I, right? So increment I is nothing but the idiom in this case. And so different microprocessors, different systems, machines would be having different instructions to carry out multiple execution of assembly codes will be combined into a single statement. So this is the use of machine idioms, and this is nothing but a sophisticated instructions which are available with these machines.